Yeah, John. So, I was scrolling around on my news feed yesterday, and all right. So I used to live in this neighborhood called Kramer Hill in East Camden, right?
Yeah.
And it's the bougie section of Camden. You know what I mean? If there can be a bougie section of Camden, Kramer Hill is it, right?
Right.
So
Kramer Hill. Okay.
Kramer Hill, yeah, Cramer Hill.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice. There's like a little park where people like ride their four-wheelers around in. So I'm scrolling on my news feed, and there was this girl, Elaine, who lived like the next.
Elaine or Elaine?
Elaine.
Oh, okay.
Elaine. Does it make a difference? Elaine?
No, I thought you said Lane.
Oh, no.
Well, that'd be like,
Elaine.
whoa, that's a sexy name.
Beautiful woman, probably in her mid-30s or something like that.
Yeah.
And I always said hi to her, if I was outside smoking a cigarette or something, I like waved to her, just common pleasantries or whatever. I didn't really know her.
Mm-hmm.
But my roommate was friends with her. I mean, he lived there for like 20 years, so we knew her from the time she was a kid. Got stabbed to death the other day out in the middle of the street.
The woman?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know, right?
Big kitty Genovesse, that bitch.
Yeah, dude. Apparently she like broke up with this boyfriend that she had, and the dude came over under the pretenses of taking all of her shit out of her place, and then stabbed her 20-year-old son, and then stabbed her to death out in the middle of the street.
Did the son die too?
Not sure yet. Right? But I was talking to my boy. I hit him up because I saw it, and I was like, yo, listen, dude, like, trying to send my condolences. Like, I know how, like, close you and Elaine were. It's your neighbor, bro. Your neighbor of, like, 20 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fucking wild, dude.
Right? So I saw on, like, 6 ABC News feed, and it was one of the first things that came up was about this woman getting murdered. Just, like, in cold blood, though, man. Like, stabbed to death out in the middle of the street. Like, that's
the ABC is national, or is that local?
ABC. Just ABC. Local. Like, the local
okay.
Philly. Like, ABC 6 in Philly. Picked it up.
That's crazy, but she was white.
Spanish.
Oh, was she?
Spanish. Puerto Rican, I believe. Yeah, Elaine.
But it was in a nice area?
Nicer. Yeah. Like, if you're going to live in... If you're living in Camden, that's where you want to live.
On the daily in Camden. And they don't fucking report that shit.
Mm-hmm. This was like in a nice neighborhood, nice
woman. Not to
woman.
take away from like your neighbor, of course. But you know what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, people.
It's just what it is.
People get killed all the time there, but this was one of those crimes that it wasn't like, this is some drug-fueled crime. This isn't like, some gangbanging shit. This is like a passion crime that some woman broke up with her boyfriend and the dude stabbed her to death. Fucking super tragic, dude.
Yeah,
she almost killed the kid
thought
too.
A crime of passion was like, in the moment, like you couldn't control it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this is some premeditated shit. Like, that guy's going, like, they got the guy.
Oh yeah. The
that
marshals picked him at his fucking house of all places. What a moron.
That guy's going in for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
There's no way.
And getting no favors along the way either, man, for killing your girl like that.
Stabbing her son. Jesus Christ, dude.
I figured that would be a good topic to get us rolling today.
Oh yeah, thanks for that.
You know what I mean?
Start off on a high note there.
Yeah,
bro.
But dude, it's some crazy stuff, man. I saw that, and my heart went out. I'm like, yo, it's fucked up. Like, she was always super nice to me, man. When I walked by, I always say hello. You know what I mean? Ask me how I was doing, and like, obviously, while I was living there, I wasn't doing super well. So
yeah.
It meant a lot that another human was like, hey, are you all right? And I'm like, no, I've been up for 6 days, not doing well at all.
I know. I've never personally known anyone who got iced like that.
Right.
But I knew a bunch of people like in my town or surrounding areas like who died. Like, I didn't know them, but like I knew of them. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But to know someone personally, that's your neighbor for 20 years.
Right.
And they're just not there anymore.
Mm-hmm. And it happened out in front of you. It was 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Murder.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
This wasn't like it was some.
Yeah. Who murders in the afternoon?
I have no idea, dude. In broad daylight on like a nice quiet street in a neighborhood.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's like that Kitty Genovese thing. You remember that?
No. What are you talking
this
about?
This woman in Brooklyn in like I feel like the mid to late 70s. I think it was just a random assailant, but he I think he raped her like do you know, like in New York, certain buildings will have like a little vestibule. You walk in the front door, and then there's a lobby with mailboxes and shit, and then the door to actually get in.
Right.
I guess there was no doorman, but I guess she got like raped and then stabbed to death in that little vestibule, and the whole ordeal took mad long. and mad people like were in their windows watching, but nobody did anything. Nobody called the cops.
What?
I'm surprised. Ian brings that up all the time about living in a presumptive society. Like we all, or an assumptive society. We all assume the next guy is going to like do something, so we don't do anything.
Right.
Like we assume, oh, somebody else is going to call the cops.
Right.
So nobody ends up calling the cops.
I think me and you have talked about that with like trash in the city. Like everyone just
throws, last time, yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, it's a very similar situation. It's like people just throw their shit away, like not giving a fuck because they think someone else is going to come by and like and take care of it.
But how do you not step in? You know what I mean? Like
Bro, I have no idea.
Even if I was going to, dude, I don't know what it is, but even if I was going to lose my life, I feel like I would fucking step in.
I would hope I would too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would really hope I would. I think I would. You know what I mean?
You would like to think you would.
Right.
Ugh. Like this one time, man, this was a minute ago, but I walked in. I don't really want to give any specifics out because I actually know pretty well all the people involved, but I kind of walked in on this girl. Like, you know, probably a few moments away from just being sexually assaulted or raped or whatever.
Okay.
And I walked in. There was actually some other people in the room, like not doing nothing.
Right.
Maybe shot. I don't know if they were going to get around to it at some point, but they were not at the time doing it. And I walked in and was just like shocked. So I ended up going towards the guy. He kind of like pulled back.
Right.
Then I kind of wrestled him away. He was way stronger than me.
Was this like
was wasted? Everybody was wasted.
So it was a party
situation. It was a party, yeah.
Right.
But I kind of like pulled him away, and then some of my other friends who were there helped me pull this dude away. The girl left. And then I kind of just started whacking him in the face, but I had my weight way down. I was like 125, 130 maybe.
What do you weigh now? Damn, bro, you're that small?
Yeah, I'm like 182 now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
125.
But I was 6 foot at like 125. Dude, I had like a fucking eating disorder or some shit in high school.
Oh, okay.
Or I just didn't eat, I don't know. But
right. Damn, that's thin, bro.
Yeah,
I get down
skinny,
that low too.
Dude. I was skinny, and that was back when like all that like emo shit. Do you remember that was out? So all the dudes were like mad thin, had like zero chest. You know what I'm talking
Heroin
about?
cheek.
Like long, sweepy ass hair.
I still got that going on a little bit.
Oh well, but that's because of years of fucking drug addiction. Like there's a good reason for that shit. You feel me? Yeah.
No chest. But yeah. So you started hitting the guy in the face or whatever.
Oh, but he was kind of like just taking it, like letting me, because he knew he could, I guess, demolish me.
Right.
The guy was like a little retarded, dude. Honestly. But I should have got my ass whooped right there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy was actually way tougher than I was. But nothing ever ended up happening with that. But that shit's crazy. Like, I don't know. I just can't imagine you would see something go down and like not step in.
Right. Yeah, I just looked that murder up online, and there's like this whole thing called the Genovesse syndrome, about like this chick, how people, let's see where it's at. 2 weeks after printing a short article on the attack, the New York Times published a longer report that conveyed a scene of indifference from neighbors who failed to come to Genovesse's aid, claiming that 38 witnesses saw or heard the attack, but none of them called the police. The incident prompted inquiries into what became known as the bystander effect, or the Genovesse syndrome. The bystander effect is a social psychological phenomenon in which individuals are less likely to offer help to a victim when other people are present. It's fucking nuts. You know what I mean? But it's like, yeah, talk about diffusion of responsibility. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird thing.
Let's stop talking about like rape and murder real quick. All
right, well, let's switch gears.
I didn't even notice, dude. You got the chain on. How tall are you? 6'2"?
Yeah.
What do you weigh?
$170,
$175.
$175.
All right. Yeah, so you got like this tall, lean thing going on, but you're all blacked out right now.
Yeah.
And you got like this black, like, what is that? That's like, it's a vest kind of?
This is quarter zip, like a quarter zip sweater.
That's what they call that?
Yeah,
quarter zip. And it's got kind of that neck thing. Like a nice sweater. Not a crew neck, but...
Yeah, it's like it's almost like a turtleneck. If
it's
you
like
zip it up all the way.
An unzipped turtleneck kind of.
Right.
All black the fuck out, pinky ring. Gold chain, thin gold chain too, bro.
You like that?
Yeah, bro. That's not like a chain. Oh, dude, look, you know what I mean? That's like a grandma gave me this shit.
I got it from my grandmother for my first Holy Communion.
Yeah, bro, you got like the comb over going. You look like you look like you about to pull something off. You look connected, bro. At least affiliated.
What do you think about the pinky ring? So I was out with my boy yesterday, and we were just like, we went out, we got something to eat. He had some errands he had to run, and he was actually the dude I went and picked up right before I came here. He needed a ride, so I helped him out. But he wanted to get a new chain, so I took him up. We went to Walmart first, and then the Boscov's. And they had some ridiculous sales, like 60% off of all their silver.
Yeah.
So we got this like $125 chain for like $50 and was like, yo, I was going to give you like $20 for gas. And I was telling him how I wanted a ring earlier when we were in Walmart. So now we're in Boscov's. And he's like, yeah, I was going to give you $20 in gas, but like, do you want to get a ring? Like, if there's something here that's like $20, I'll just get it for you. So I copped this yesterday.
Yeah, you look like a white Denzel in Training Day.
I thank you. You know, I'm trying to up the style a little bit. Dude, I have these.
Are you really? Because our good buddy Alex is trying to do the exact same thing.
Alex, long hair Alex?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Me and him.
Everybody's like changing their thing up. Is that like a spring cleaning thing?
No, dude, what it really is like I'm almost a year sober and I'm trying to like get my shit together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm still wearing the same clothes that I got burn holes in from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Bro, I got this one pair of sweatpants. You could drive a Mack truck through the hole that's burned in on these sweatpants.
Yeah.
And it was the same cigarette too. It was actually when I was living in Camden, I like lit this cigarette, dipped out, lit it again, dipped out, lit it again, and I just kept burning. It went.
It's just like the miracle of Hanukkah right there, bro. We should make a holiday about that in Camden, bro. The cigarette that just wouldn't go out for 8 days and 8 nights.
It burned through the sweatpants, the gym shorts, and the boxers, and was starting to burn my leg before I woke up.
Yeah, bro.
Some grade A heroin coming out of that city at that time.
Oh, yeah.
At that time.
Yeah, that's that good shit.
So,
how many layers did your fucking cigarette burn through? That's the judge. Like, that's the metric for how you judge how good the dope is.
Hey, Poppy, yo, last night this burned through 4 layers of this kid's pants. You should try it. It's good shit.
Yeah, we only fuck with 3 layers or higher, buddy.
I don't want any of that 2-layer bullshit. So really dude, I have these like mini nervous breakdowns like once every 10 days, right? And I'll be going through my closet trying to figure out what I want to wear. This is like a usual Tuesday outfit for me, right? Like I have like 5 or 6 outfits that look nice and I don't wear anything else, and I really don't have that much more either. Yeah. I got like 3 pairs of pants, like 10 shirts, but I only wear like 6 of them. So I have this like nervous breakdown. I'm like, fuck. Like, I've worn that like twice in the 10-day cycle.
Time to switch up, yeah.
Time to switch up, you know what I mean? And I need some new clothes. But clothes are expensive. Most of the stuff I own has been stuff guys have given to me, or they've gotten high in the halfway house I lived in, and I just ransack their shit when they leave. You know what
just
I mean?
Run their whole shit, bro, yeah.
Yeah. It's like...
As is your right. I mean, after 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the first 30 seconds, like whatever. However long it takes for the cops to get there.
That's what I do when a new dude moves into the house. I size him up and be like, yeah, we got the same jean size. Yo, cuz, what size sweater you wear? Oh, it's an XL. I'm like, all right. I'm like, yo, you know where the block is, right? Yeah. Like, yo, you need $10 for the bus? Yeah. I got you, dude. There's some nice Levi's. You know what I mean? Shit. But I size people up like that sometimes, and it's like, fuck. You know, gonna get them.
Gotta do it. But yeah, everybody seems to be switching up their style a little bit. Like our man Alex, he was telling me, he was like, yeah, like he got some like not like super skinny jeans, but maybe like tapered kind of. You know what I'm saying?
That's a no-go for your boy Licata, dude.
What, skinny jeans?
Yeah, it's
you
no-go.
could fit into them.
Yeah,
but but they're not. He got some like tapered jeans. You know what I mean? So the fit's
tapered at the bottom, like tapered in.
Yeah. He got like...
I got big feet, bro. I can't do that.
Huh?
I got big feet.
Oh, I do too, bro.
I know.
I fit into that shit. No problem.
Yeah,
but wait. No, you're throwing me off, dog.
The tapered jeans, they get tight at the bottom, right? Is that what you're saying?
They get tighter. Like tapered just gets tighter at the bottom. Like skinny jeans get like tight at the bottom.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when I have those jeans that are like tight or tighter at the bottom,
yeah,
they make my shoes look huge and I look like I got clown feet.
Yeah.
So I can't do that. Klaus, his feet aren't that big.
Yeah, you're right.
And he look good in it?
Yeah. Well, no, that's what he had, or that's stuff that he has that he's trying to switch up from. I don't know, but he has like some of those jeans with like the, it'll have like shit on the knee. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of padded almost.
Yeah.
Like shit, like those real gaudy kind of jeans.
Right. He's trying to get away from that.
He's trying to get away from that stuff. He's got like the graphic like T-shirts and shit like that.
Right.
He said he's trying to basically become more conservative.
Right.
Because he's a young guy. He's 20. He just turned 22.
Right.
But
trying to grow up a little bit. I get it.
yeah, he's just trying to put on a little more mature look. So we had some donation stuff come by the community center, and I was the one to move all the boxes. None of the shit fit me. How was it going to fit you?
All right,
Licata, I would have called you. I would hit you up. But I'm just checking. It was all medium stuff and like size 9 shoes exclusively. And it was nice shit, so I was mad. But I bring Alex over, and I kind of gave him first pick because I was the one to move the boxes. And I was like, look around in this. And I picked something out for him already, and it was like this navy blue polo jumpsuit that had like black and orange stripes going down the sleeve.
I would have rocked that.
And the pant leg, like Adidas.
Like a sweatsuit?
Kinda. Yeah, it was ill,
shit.
but he had his like long hair, and he's Colombian, and he had a hat over the top of it. He looked like a fucking Grand Theft Auto loading screen or some shit. And he was posed up in front of his Acura that he just got, and he matched the Acura.
I haven't even seen that car yet. Is it nice?
It's sick.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mad props to him for getting his like license back and all that kind of shit, man. That's super cool.
That's what happens when you put one foot in front of the other, dude.
I know.
Have some long-term goals and just keep whacking away at them, man. People just become stagnant. They just like they get off of drugs or they clean up their act a little bit, and they're like, all right, that's good. Like we were talking about last time, complacency.
Right.
Like, what was the difference between content and being complacent? Like, you can't be content with what you have forever. You know what I mean? That is complacency. Like, you can be content with what you have at the moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like
and people like you and Alex and myself to, I don't know, some extent, like, kind of we have what we have and we're good with that, but we keep trying to move forward in some direction. Like you're going to school, he got his license to do the home health aid stuff, got his car back.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, even take it to something simple as like, I like the clothes I got. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit I got is nice, but like I want more. You know what I mean? And and like saying I want more, I don't really consider that a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not wrong to want nice stuff, dude. Like I'm not beat for living in some tiny house like in the middle of the forest, like with my wife who like doesn't shave her armpits. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to live that.
Sending conspicuous packages to like the IRS and shit like that.
Yeah, dude.
Writing manifestos.
Yeah, I'm not.
In skinny jeans.
Yeah, in skinny jeans. I'm not beat for that kind of shit, man. Like. I do agree with some of those values to like a certain extent. You know what I mean? Like don't live beyond your means and yada yada yada. But it's like, all right, well, if I want this, but getting that right now is living beyond my means, then like I'm gonna work more so I have more means to get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a fucking balance. I bet you had some real nice shit that came into the JCC like that.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I probably shouldn't even be talking about all that, but we had a big delivery going to like 2 separate places, and then there were like 2 smaller boxes that were just donations, like stuff that someone was through with, but the locations this stuff was going to were nice areas, one in New York and one in Florida. So some kind of upper class thing. There was a lot of nice stuff, a lot of nice dress pants, like I said, that polo, that matching polo stuff, some brand new stuff never worn.
Really?
Yeah.
I always try to hit the Goodwills in like nice neighborhoods, man. That's where you always find the nice shit. I got a pair of Jordans one time for like $8 at a Goodwill up in Cherry Hill.
Yeah.
They were awesome. They were like barely used. And I don't know, some kid probably went to college and his mom was like, this kid's got way too many fucking shoes. Let me get rid of them, So that's where I always cop the nice stuff at. And I'm never against getting stuff from like Goodwill or like they got a Salvation Army store up in Albany Ave. I've gone in there a few times, but like stuff kind of expensive there.
Yep. There's no reason to not do that. Like, I mean, I know people who wouldn't do it out of pride. Like, oh, I'm not going to a Goodwill. Why the fuck not, dude? Utilize your resources. Play the hand you were dealt. Like, why would you spend $50 for something when you could spend $5? Like we were talking about. Like, my new thing is I've been getting shit exclusively like off the internet / Amazon.
Okay.
But like I'll go somewhere, like a pair of shoes or something. Like I just got these Chucks in the mail. You know what I mean? I got them
they're nice, dude.
I got them for $40. They were like $60 in the fucking store.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I like the low tops.
I like them too. They're all right.
You know what I mean? Very versatile.
I got them for the gym because they're flat. You know what I mean? And flat shoes are better for like lifting weights.
Really?
Like the squat, deadlift, yeah. Because you can't have like the bar on your back. Say if you're doing a squat, like, and you got like 200 pounds on it, and the bar is sitting on your back, so it's sitting on your body, and then the bar weight plus your body weight is sitting on your legs, and then directly over your feet. And then you got shoes with like a buffed up heel, or the arch pokes up for support.
Bending forward,
it kind of presses your foot down, like pancakes it into the shoe. It's not good. So like flat shoes are better. But I tried them on in the store like a month ago, and they were expensive, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I could get these cheaper. So I tried on some 13s over there. They fit. And then 13s. Later, I just...
Big boy.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Don't be saying gay shit around me now. But yeah, you got to utilize your resources, dude. Be smart. With your pinky ring and your fucking thin gold chain, bro. Your chain's thinner than my fucking patience. Hey, you better stop playing, Licata.
Did you lace those up like that, or they come laced like that?
I laced them up like that.
How did you learn how to do fancy lacing like that?
I literally just looked it up yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, it's not hard.
Because I always used to see that, like when I was in like high school and even like middle school to a lesser extent.
The straight lace across the... Whereas when you get them, like the way you learn when you're a kid is to just diagonally kind of go.
I've never strayed away from that.
Yeah, I never did either, and I was just like, well, let me just look up something different, just because I felt like it.
Well, look at you, dude, moving up in the world, man. He's got a brand new pair of Chuck Taylors, and he's got this, 7th grade,
Well, you got nothing, Licata. Shut up. Over here trying to roast me, bro. Nah, dude, there's nothing better than a fresh pair of fucking shoes.
Dude, I agree with you 100%.
Ever since you were a kid, man. Do you remember that?
Fresh pair of shoes. Always one of the greatest days of childhood.
Yeah, dude.
Like before
if you were so fortunate.
Yeah, before the new school year or something. And I always said, man, I always wanted to, if I ever made it, made it in the sense of money, I'm going to wear a new pair of socks every day. There's nothing better when you rip open a fresh pair of socks and you put those things on and they're all fluffy and shit and still got that like new sock smell to them. Yeah. Nothing better. It's my goal. Sure. My life goal is to be able to put a new pair of socks on every day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, if you could do that, you're good. I mean, I'm sure there's some service on the internet that delivers socks probably. They got it for everything else, underwear and shit like that.
Might be a good idea.
Get on it, dude. Just get shit from Goodwill and just send it like FedEx to people. Yeah.
Just give them, like, I buy new socks, right? And then I put them, I wear them, and then I put them back in the bag and then send them out. I like one thing you said though is like playing the hand you're dealt, man. That is so fucking key for me recently. It's just like whatever I got going on, just fucking, it's like rolling with the punches. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, all right, well, this is what I got to do today. So at my job, I started taking over this new thing where I go shopping for the entire house I live in, right? So I'm in charge of, with the aid of one of my other coworkers, I've been put in charge to kind of take over this role of purchasing food and like cleaning supplies, like anything that needs to be bought for a house of like between 15 to 20 people. It's a lot of shit, bro. Like I can go grocery shopping for myself or even like a small house, but like to calculate how much stuff you need to buy without it going to waste is a lot. And rather than get like all pissed off about it, kind of looking at it as a new responsibility and like, all right, well, this is what it is. They need me to do this, so I need to figure out how to do it most effectively. And I've tried to put together some spreadsheets, get like a little inventory system going, and like I went for the first time this past Sunday, and it like worked out pretty well. Didn't buy enough fruit, so the homies are beat on bananas for the week, but next week I'll buy more.
Excuse me. Hey, we're not getting any potassium over here. I don't know who the fuck this new guy is doing the groceries. Nah, man, you got to throw yourself into situations like that. I used to
run from them.
Oh, hard, yeah, dude. Like my mom was a mentally ill person. She was really depressed and really paranoid was the big one, and anxious. So that shit transferred over to me.
Right.
So in my adult life, anything that required, attention, anything I would have to do, like if I had to learn how to do something new, I wasn't immediately like proficient at it. It would terrify me.
Right.
And then I just would stray away from it. But as you get older, you kind of learn to just put yourself in the situation and just do it. And whatever becomes of it, you learn from it and you do it better next time.
I wonder if that's like a similar trait that, you know, we as, you know, former drug addicts kind of have in common, man. If I'm not immediately good at something, I'm not doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is like I gotta, you know, and I'm sure you're the same way. Like I have a bunch of natural skills that I'm good at, right? Like I'm insanely good at talking to people. I can talk my way out of almost any situation. You know, I'm very like book smart. Like you put, you know, like when I was in elementary school, middle school, and even high school, like teacher wrote something on the board, like it was locked in. Like I didn't have to write it down a bunch of times. Like I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can hear stuff and just regurgitate it. So when it came to taking tests, I never did any fucking work. And my teachers would always bitch at me. They're like, "Oh, you didn't do your homework." And I'd be like, "Bitch, I got 100 in this class right now. Like, what do I need to do homework for? The point of homework is to learn material, right? I know the material, so why do you want me to like fill out some worksheet on shit that I already know how to do? Like that's where the examination comes in to test what I learned from the homework. Well, I know the shit, so why do I need to do any homework? You know, but taking it back to sports is I was never really a good athlete like growing up. Like I didn't grow into my body until like later in life, like almost in my like mid 20s before I really started like get control of this like Gumby like physique I have. You know what I'm saying? Like I was slow. I couldn't hit a baseball to save my life. I could throw like decently hard, but I wasn't good at it, so I didn't want to practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like always been tough for me to be like good at things and do well at them, and so I wouldn't do any of the stuff I wasn't good at. You know what I mean?
It's definitely a thing for addicts. I think it's a thing for really everybody of our generation. I think it's a widespread thing in our generation. I think like there was an overcorrection with our parents from their generation where our grandparents were too harsh, so our parents became much less overbearing. They became more kind of, they would just praise you for shit, you know what I mean, if you weren't maybe necessarily deserving. You know, some of our parents at least.
Yeah, I mean,
right, like they would be like, oh, they just pick something that you're like mildly good at and like, oh, you're so good at this, you're so handsome, you're so smart, you can dance really well or sing really well or whatever the case is. And then you get into the real world, you get into these arenas where other people are trying to do that thing and they've been practicing at it their whole life because they were taught the virtue of hard work over just instant gratification. And then you're like, oh, you know what? Well, I'm actually not good at this. I'm not going to try. I think it's fear. Like we're afraid to do this thing because our ego is going to be hurt. Maybe we perceive ourselves as being good at it and we don't want to try because we're going to find out that we're not, or we know we're bad at something and we're afraid to go do it and look bad. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's something I made great strides with in the past, like almost a year. Like I'll really do anything, bro. Like if it sucks, it sucks. You know what I'm saying? And like I've been okay with people telling me that like something I do, like, yo, that was like you didn't do well at that. Like, all right, like whatever. Like, all right, well, what'd I do wrong? Like, well, this, and this. I'm like, all right, you know, try that next time. Like whatever.
You get better taking those lumps when you're older. When you're a kid, like when I was a kid, and still to a large extent now, but I had a fragile, weak little ego. Right. So any little nick it took, like anything anybody ever told me that I needed to improve on, I blew out of proportion. You know what I mean? The way I reacted, the way I handled that emotionally.
Yeah, I was the same way as a kid, man. You know, like I would, you know, always last to get picked on the fucking kickball field at Thomas Richards Elementary School. Like, you remember that shit, you know what I mean? Dude, I couldn't ride a bike until I was like 11 because I was so scared of getting on a bike. Yeah. And I had my mom teach me. She like took me like back in the woods somewhere so like no one would see me go. And like, and I was like, but dude, like kids in my neighborhood would come over and knock on my door and ask me if I want to go for a bike ride. And I would like make up these lies about why I couldn't go because I was so scared that like they would make fun of me for not knowing how to ride a bike. And they probably would have too. You know what I mean? They're kids. You know what I'm saying? They probably would have made fun of me.
Yeah, they would have shit on you.
Right? But like looking back on it now, like I can look at that. Like I was so super scared of, you know, just like falling off that bike. You know what I mean? Yeah. And one of the great things I've been doing recently, and I got to get my boy back on this podcast, my buddy Alan, who I do like Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu classes with once a week. That has done wonders for my ego, man. I've noticed that I've been... Thai? Yeah, dude.
How you doing with that? Good?
I've gotten much better. Like light years better from when I started training like 3 months ago. I don't even really want to call it training because it's not like I'm training for a fight or something, but I just go to these classes.
No, but you are training. You're training yourself.
Right.
It's a discipline.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And I draw all these parallels to AA from like going to a martial art gym like that. Like you go before, right? And like, so it's like, you know, you go to an AA meeting. There's before the meeting where you're smoking cigarettes, having coffee. There's the actual meeting. And then there's after the meeting where you're talking to your friends or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then at this gym, we go before class. We talk, we shoot the shit, we catch up, we stretch. We have the class. And then after the class, you like clean the mats, you shoot the shit, you talk with your boys, you see like what you could have done better, like what other people did right. And it's like there's this camaraderie aspect to it. But what it's really done for me is that like I don't mind getting hit in the face now. You know what I mean? Like I'll go up and like do some light sparring with my boy Alan, who's like 6'2", 260. You know what I mean? He could like fake throw a punch at me, and I used to like.
You're conditioned now.
Yeah, man. And
that's the thing. Like you start doing stuff like that, you learn kind of how to hold yourself. When you first start off, you can't even throw a punch, and then you kind of like learn how to hold yourself, like your nervous system adjusts to all that hit training and stuff like that. It's good. It does a lot for you. And
I really didn't want to I really didn't like want to get hit, bro. Like I'd be like almost shit my pants, but like I had to take these guys to go to the gym for work. So it's like I can't look shook like in front of these kids who already are scared because they don't want to go. Like I got to like put on a front and like make it look like I want to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And somewhere like 2 months along the line, I'm like, yo, I fucking love this. You know what I mean? I get there, I stretch, you know, I throw a couple, and Alex comes with me sometimes, and he's done a lot for me too. Like, show me how to throw proper punches, like show me how to deflect, how to block, how to like catch a kick, like all that kind of shit. It's a lot of fun. You know, I can't wait. I'm going tomorrow, man. I've been looking forward to it all week.
See, and that's the best. It's a, you know, we've come a long way from being like these scared little frightened children to being grown men where we picked something up and we were horrible at it and we were afraid to do it, but we did it anyway and we got better. And then months down the line, we look forward to that thing.
Right.
And it's funny because the more you do something, the more you realize you suck at it. The more of a frame of reference you have.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the more I go to the gym, the more weight I put up, like the stronger I get, the weaker I realize that I am. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
And it makes you want to go harder. You have more of an understanding of the thing the longer that you do it.
It's almost like with these podcasts, man. I bet if we listen to one of the first couple ones we do, it's probably like, oh, man, that was shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's probably garbage. This one's probably going to be garbage in like a month.
Right, yeah, exactly.
You know? Yeah, it's crazy shit how that fear progresses into like a, you know, a source of strength. And like I look forward to it, man. Like I can't wait. Like tomorrow, fucking 1 o'clock. Like I'll be there in the gym, gloves on, ready to rock. You know what I mean? Another thing that you were talking about before is like, I think we talked about this last time. Is like telling people that they suck. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about that with like the barbers and shit like that.
Oh
like,
yeah.
You know, that was a good bit.
Oh, well, it was probably, yeah, it was pretty decent. I can't exactly. Well, we went for like an hour and a half last time, so I can't remember.
It was long.
Yeah, everything we were talking about, but yeah,
it was good. We talked about how like I just got a nice haircut, and it's like that struggle when you have like a barber who's like not good. And you like, you like can't go back to him, and if they're in the same shop, like you got to roll.
Yeah. Well, you don't even necessarily need to tell the barber himself. Like you got to tell. I think we were talking about like telling our friends, like. We were talking about breath. Like if your breath stinks,
right?
Like,
that's right.
Here, chew this piece of gum, or you got to floss something. Like people are too afraid to, I guess, step in and tell somebody else something. I don't know. Yeah,
well, kind of what made me think of it this time is how you're talking about and the differences in like our generation. So like our grandparents were like World War II era people.
Oh yeah,
right. So they had this like super hard life. Most of them grew up in the Depression or like the aftermath of the Depression. So they had this crazy hard work ethic, and it was like, yeah, if you got to, shovel coal for 12 cents an hour, you got to shovel coal for 12 cents an hour. Like, we got to eat some bread tonight with dinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then our parents, I feel like, got it so hard from those Depression era people that they went soft on us.
Yeah, the overcorrection, yeah.
Right, the overcorrection. I've never heard anybody say an overcorrection like that. And a thing me and one of my cousins talk about all the time is that the rate of change that our society has had since me and you were born, right? Like, I remember getting the first computer in my classroom.
Mm-hmm.
I remember taking typing classes. I remember having VHS tapes. I remember logging on to AOL that was hooked up through my phone system, and you got kicked off if someone called while you were online. And now all these kids,
yeah.
If
you were booting it up, woo, 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 woo,
Yeah.
and somebody just so happened to be making a phone call at the moment, if you were waiting for AOL to boot up, you could hear the phone call through your computer.
Right, and then the shit would kick you off.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't be on the two systems at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, even if you were on the internet, from what I remember, if you were on the internet and someone called, it would I think it would give a busy signal, and then if you were on the phone already, you couldn't get onto the internet.
Yeah. You could. We still had cordless phones, landlines. We had party lines still when we were younger.
What do you mean? Like, when you can call, like, you and your boy and, like, your other friend?
Yeah, and then
at the
have a
same time?
conference call and have somebody else call in from another landline. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, well, it's exponential. Really, since, I guess, the Industrial Revolution.
Right.
You know what I mean? It took...
Technological revolution is really what it is.
Yeah. Well, it took us, like... Say if you're starting at like after like the year 1, I guess AD, right? Mm-hmm. It took us like what 1700 something years to get to the printing press,
right?
And then it took us only another 200 to get to the internet,
right?
So it's exponential, the curve.
Mm-hmm. And even if you take it on like a little bit of a smaller scale, that our parents went, like, they had TVs first, right?
Yeah.
And then they had these bunk ass black and white TVs to color TVs to like VHS in their lifespan.
Yeah.
We went from having like an analog, like, it's really the digital age that has blown up in the past 20 years. Like, we went from having these analog tapes when we were kids, like in the mid 90s, to everything can be streamed over the internet. Like, that whole internet age came on so fast. So it's like, I saw something online today. It was like, oh man, I wish I would have saved it. It said something, your parents in 1995 don't trust anybody on the internet. And it's like, your mom in 2018. Oh, the Bald Eagle, liberal association on Facebook said Hillary Clinton's an alien. And like telling you like they believe it. You know what I'm saying? So they go from like not trusting any of the shit on the internet to like using everything like based as fact.
Yeah, our parents would tell us like, hey, don't get in cars with strangers. And then 10 years later, it's Uber. Oh, your Uber's here.
Right?
Lyft is here. What's funny is my mom was actually a baby boomer. She was born in 49, so she was born right after the war. Right. But my grandfather didn't go to World War II. Oh, he did. He was a spy, actually. I was trying to remember which war he was in.
Can you say that? Is there a statute of limitations on like?
No, they're all dead. It doesn't matter. But
for what? Like the like the OSS or something like that? He was just like a spy, like the OSS.
I don't know exactly what he did.
The OSS was the precursor to the CIA.
Oh,
it was like the intelligence agency
Maybe.
that they had during World War II.
He was an immigrant from Sicily, so he was a native Italian speaker, and then Italy was one of the big 3 like Axis powers.
Right.
So they had him in there. Like I don't know. I heard stories from my mom that she heard from him. So it was like a game of telephone, but probably blown up. But he saw some action. He saw a little combat.
That's pretty badass.
But he was mostly like espionage and shit like that. Huh. But my mom was a baby boomer, so it's funny to see how with the technology, like my mom's a baby boomer. She had my sister when she was 20. So my sister is the generation after that.
Right.
And I'm a millennial.
Right.
So I grew up with a baby boomer, and my mom couldn't, by the time it got to the computer, she could no longer pick up the technology. She couldn't understand it anymore. She couldn't figure out how, like to us, it's incredibly intuitive because we were children when we learned how to do it, and you're better at picking up anything when you're a child, like another language. Right. Like learning how to interface with the computer is another language. Learning how to type, learning how to click or double click something or right click something. My mom could never figure out the difference between clicking, double left click, or right click to bring up the options. Huh. I spent a long time trying to teach her, and she could just never pick it up.
My parents used to call me when I was in college and ask me how to switch over the input on the TV so they could watch a DVD.
Oh, yeah.
And then they just got to the point where they just stopped watching movies at home. You know what I mean? But my grandfather, up until he died, I think it was almost 2 years ago now, was a beast at computers. He could send emails, attach pictures, and this guy, he was born in 1930. You know, he was lucky where he was too young to go to World War II, but he was too old to go to Korea. So he kind of missed the boat on both parts. So we say he like finagled his way like out of both wars. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he was great with technology until he passed away. Like he'd send me emails all the time, like attach pictures if he went out with the family somewhere or something like that. Yeah, that whole not getting in the cars with strangers and now like taking an Uber, like there's a bunch of weird shit we do now that like would have been like super weird or super like taboo years ago. I'm really just like the Wikipedia thing's always the funniest. Where when I was in like high school writing a paper, like don't go on Wikipedia, don't go on Wikipedia.
Oh yeah.
And now it's like the first look for any source of information, man. Instead of like some dude knocking on your door selling you like the Britannica, collection of encyclopedias. You know, you just go online and get it.
Yeah.
It's probably killed a bunch of business. And me and you talked about this a while ago. Like I wonder what other businesses are gonna get killed from the advent of technology. You know, like it's going to be much easier for us, but these things are going to like fall by the wayside. You know, they had that grocery store in the Whole Foods that Amazon's clicked up with out in Seattle where they don't even have any cashiers. You know, they got people stocking shelves, which I'm sure robots could do eventually.
Right.
But these people just, you put the stuff and you walk through almost like a Subway kiosk, and then it just debits your credit card. You know, it scans all the barcodes or whatever like that, and you walk through, and then it deducts it from your account.
Yeah, I mean that's something that comes out of capitalism. Is like you can't have a capitalist society with as many people as we have, like living in this country, with the amount of money there is, the way it is divided in this country, and have a middle class for very long. You understand, like. Everybody's going to pay for convenience, even small and large business owners. The bigger corporations are going to get the technology first, and then they start doing what? They start laying off the people on the very bottom because they're getting technology that'll replace those people. You know what I mean? So the wealth becomes distributed. Now the people at the top are saving money, so they have more, and the people at the bottom are losing money because they get fired.
Right. Yeah, I like it's almost like a little more motivation to want to get into that upper class. You know what I mean? Before I get cut out and like I'm down in that lower class and there's no way coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really hard, man. I mean, if you don't come from money, you don't come from like a little bit, like your chances are way less than everyone else's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. You know. I mean, it's one of those
time, but it's like you got to figure out. You got to do something where they can't replace you, dude. They're like going to be replacing surgeons in the next few years with like computers. You understand?
Yeah.
For minor surgeries and things like that. That's fucking nuts. Like something you think, oh, well, computer can't do my job. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I saw something today that it was like the first fully automatic robotic kitchen. And this like these robot arms were like chopping vegetables, making a pasta sauce and like yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I ain't eating that sauce, bro. I'm not eating that. They can chop my garlic for me, but I'm not eating that sauce.
Yeah.
You know, so I wonder, like, kind of if like I'm in the field I'm kind of in, like the mental health field. I wonder if there's any way that robots could really like get into that and like lose my job. Man.
You could have a robot therapist. You know what I mean? Like, it'll just sit there and listen to you, and then it'll have certain algorithms, based on your responses, the time it took you to respond. Your demeanor, it'll figure out like your entire childhood. It'll diagnose you like then and there, and then it'll tell you to put a quarter in and dispenses like 2 Prozac. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish I had one of those machines when I was getting high, dude, where I could go and put in 50 cents and get a couple Xanax bars and pop out, man. You know what I mean? I had to go up to some dude on a corner to get those.
Yeah.
That shit like freaks me out a little bit, man. You know what I mean? And there's something to be said about like how isolation leads to like all these sort of mental health diseases. Like they always say there's nothing more therapeutic than like you know, the touch of another human being, right? So some things like that, like you kind of lose this human interaction, and it can negatively affect your psyche. You know what I mean?
You're losing children to technology now.
What do you mean?
Well, a lot of parents got to be at work.
Right. Okay.
Put the kid in front of the TV. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Things like that. You kind of already, in a sense, are losing. You're not losing them to like a nuts and bolts robot.
Right.
In that sense, but in a way, you kind of are. Or if they go out to eat, like they just can't deal. The kids are all fucking like they're all nuts because they were exposed to too much ultrasound in the womb. You know what I mean? They can't fucking have peanuts and all types of shit, and are allergic to like garlic and whatnot.
Right.
And then they're
Dude,
hyperactive.
that'd be the death of me, man. Allergic to garlic. That'd be fucking terrible.
Oh, it'd be a wrap. But they can't take the kid out to eat without the kid flipping out. So they put the iPad in front of the kid and put on like Frozen for like the 11,000th like time or whatever.
You ever see that movie?
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah, me neither. I've like stayed away from it.
I think it's like it's like one of the highest grossing like animated movies, or like the highest grossing animated movie.
I was a Toy Story guy growing up.
Oh yeah.
Toy Story was the shit. The third one made me cry, dude. At the end, I was like fucking tearing up.
Yeah.
I almost lost it.
Almost. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
But with I see it all the time, man. When I'm out and I see these parents, and it's just like easier for them to throw a fucking iPad in front of their kid than like entertain them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, I can't really talk too much shit because I don't have any kids, and I don't really know what it's like to try to entertain like a little person for like hours on end. It's got to be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
You know, when you got shit to do, especially say if you're a single mother or a single father, like, you know, you got to work, you got to clean the house, and you got to like watch this kid. It's easier to just throw him in front of the TV and like call it good. It's almost like throwing your dog out in the backyard instead of taking it for a walk.
It's true. Well, back in the day, that's the thing about convenience. Back in the day, that wasn't, and not very long ago, that was not an option. To just give the kid like a video game or an iPad or something and let them entertain themselves. That started coming up. That started coming about, I think, when like we were younger.
Right.
Maybe a little bit before that.
My mother was great, man. She would only give us the Nintendo controllers on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't get them at the beginning of the marking period, like the beginning of the school year. She wouldn't give us the controllers back until our progress reports came out.
Right, right.
And she was also really good about, like, in the summertime, man, she would just, at like 10 o'clock in the morning, she'd be like, all right, get on your bikes, like, go. Like, don't come back until the street lights are on. We'd be out all day. We'd come back for lunch, wash up. She'd make sure we weren't, like, badly injured, and then send us back out into the neighborhood, you know? Mm-hmm. So I had a lot of interaction with kids when I was really young. So this kind of segues into our next formal segment that we've got on here. You know, we're talking about technology. We're talking about interactions with people. I got the round 2 Tinder Challenge up here for you.
Oh, great!
You ready for it?
I'm so ready.
This is my favorite part. We gotta get on that Yahoo questions thing too. Maybe I'll pull up a couple of those.
Oh, the Yahoo answers.
Yeah, dude. I think that's a really good idea.
What time is it?
2:40.
All right, you want to take a quick break? I got to take a leak.
Yeah, go ahead, take a break. I'll
and then I got to meet up. So we got another like 10, 15.
10, 15. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so what John has this idea that we go on Yahoo Answers or Yahoo Questions or some shit like that, and we try to. I'm gonna read him questions off of these Yahoo things, and he's gonna try to answer them. There's been some pretty ridiculous questions on there so far. So I'm going to see if I can pull up a few and get them on here. 22 questions from Yahoo Answers that are so dumb, they're awesome. There's some good ones on here. Let me pull up my my Tinder thing for this young bull right here and see what we can find. So I really hope you guys are enjoying the podcast. We're going to have to try some, you know, regular occurrence of these podcasts. I got one going on with Gavin. Gavin and John are really my main man. So, you know, the podcast I do with Gavin, we're going to try to have a little more formal, a little more positive, and then the ones me and John are doing are just kind of going to be, you know, straight and to the point, you know, talk about what's really going on in the world. So I'm gonna try to pull some of these up right here, and then hopefully John will come back nice and clean from his bathroom adventure, and this Tinder challenge will finally get rocking off. I'm waiting for the day where we talk about somebody's Tinder challenge and they're listening, and then they hit me up and say, "Yo, you read my Tinder profile on your podcast, you fucking asshole." It hasn't happened yet, mainly because we probably don't have that many people listening to the podcast, but someday here in the near future we'll hopefully get that. Did you wash your hands, John?
Yes, sir.
Nice. I rambled on a bunch.
I did a rinse.
Did you? Yeah, I mean that's really all you can ask for these days. All right, so do you want to?
Dude, I think I've been puffing on that fucking vape, and I think that thing's fucking me up, dude.
Yo, you got the Views vibe, right?
Yeah, I feel like shit, dude.
In your throat?
Yeah, my chest.
They're not good for you, man. That's why I switched up to the snus. That shit would fuck me up, man. I notice while I'm at that Muay Thai class, if I'm on a week where I'm heavy on the vape versus a week that I'm heavy on the snus I feel way better. Like light years better,
Yeah, I got to stop this thing.
Yeah. You were doing good, man.
No, I already kicked the cigarettes. I just I need something to do with my hands, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe you can take up crocheting.
Yeah, maybe.
You can knit me a nice black sweater to go with these black jeans I got on. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Beer drinker. All right, so to preface the Tinder challenge, I have my friends on the lookout for Tinder profiles. I'm going to read them to John, and he's going to try to guess what sex the person is, as well as what age they are. All right? And maybe further along the line, we'll get into profession and shit like that. All right, here's the first one. Looking for gym and drinking buddies. Beer drinker, whiskey lover, gym rat. Weights are greater than cardio. I'll also play the hell out of some video games. I travel a lot for work, and my home just moved from Denver to Philadelphia. Trump supporters, swipe left.
I'm going to say it's a guy because of the weights are greater than cardio. That's a dude thing. Women who are in the gym are obsessed with getting on the fucking treadmill. Guys kind of don't mind if they're a little thick around the middle or got some fat on them, as long as they got some size and some muscle behind it. Wrong?
Yeah, bro, it's a chick.
Oh no.
I know, right? Erica.
Did you get the pictures this time?
No, these are ones I've had on here. I can't really see
okay.
a solid picture of her. She looks like
Erica,
she's a little thicker.
Yeah, she chunky but spunky. That's her. I don't know. And then how old? My home just moved from Denver to Philadelphia. Trump supporters swipe left. Oh man, this is kind of a difficult one, but I want to say mid 20s, so I go between 24, 26.
29.
Really?
Yeah, you fucked up.
Yeah, I did. That was a poor one. All right, that's a warm up.
Yeah, it was a warm up.
All right, what's the next one?
If you have pics of yourselves with other blank on here, I'm going to assume you're swingers and a couple, and you're looking for a third. Not interested.
All right, it's a chick.
Okay.
You have pictures of yourself with other guys. I'm going to assume you're swinging. Yeah.
Women.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How old? I don't know. Shit, I don't know.
34.
34.
That was a bad one. All right.
That was a little light.
Yeah, it was a little light, right? I have chinchillas, parentheses, plural, looking for something more with an open-minded person in the bedroom.
Wait, those are the two defining points of their life. I have chinchillas and I'm trying to fucking try new shit.
I gotta commend
Are the chinchillas there? In the bedroom?
No, there's no. Yeah. Are you into bestiality? Is really what you should have wrote. You know what I'm saying?
I'm into chinchilla. I'm really into chinchillas.
You ever seen a chinchilla? They're pretty cool. They're like rabbits.
We got one, dog, at the community center.
Oh yeah, that's right. You told me that. Yeah. They got them all locked up in the back, right? And they don't feed them or water them. Or anything right. Like
we'll water the chinchilla. You just spritz it. It's good.
Give it a little milk or grow.
Damn, bro, these shits are. You pulled out all the stops this time.
Mm-hmm.
I have chinchillas. I'm trying to. Okay, I'm gonna assume it's a woman. I gotta assume it's a woman. It's a dude.
Dude, bro. Luis, 28.
His name is Luis. Oh, Luis, like Luis.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see this picture. Hold up. This guy looked like he did 2 bids already. How you gonna have chinchillas, bro? You got that.
Doesn't he, dude? He looks like he just got out of jail.
He looks like a felon. You're trying to try new shit, bro. I don't want to be there for it.
All right. That one sucks.
You're going to get there. You're going to try to shove drugs up your butt. He's like, all right.
You should be able to get this one. Hip-hop. Post-rock. Books. Strong black coffee. Martinis. Wine and cheese. Well-placed hyphens. Chappelle. Broad City. Peep Show. Documentaries. Sleeping In.
It can't be a guy.
It's not a guy.
All right,
You're
thank
right.
God.
I know, right? I was going to have to fucking de-man this guy if that was a thing.
When you say martinis in Broad City, dude, like
What's
we
Broad
gotta talk.
City?
It's like this show. I don't know if it's still going, but it was this show on Comedy Central, and it was just these 2 girls like walking around like New York being retarded. It wasn't that funny. I like exclusively watched it when I was coming down from a long night of doing cocaine.
Really?
Yeah,
It doesn't seem like the kind of show I'd want to watch if I'm coming off of coke.
No, but it would be on not the DVR. It'd be on like I think Netflix or Hulu or whatever. Mm-hmm. It would be like that one. My mans would put it on. He would put that one, and you put on like I think the Kroll show, Nick Kroll.
Oh, yeah, I don't like another show I wouldn't want to watch. I
Another-
don't want to watch
and
that
it's
on coke or coming off of coke.
And it's a weird thing to watch when you're coming down and like
Right.
you have like 0 serotonin going. You're just like empty, and you're just watching this like the Kroll show was like surreal almost.
Right,
Like
yeah.
his sense of humor, like he's goofy, but
Not a bad show, man, but those sketch shows like that are so hard to be good at, man. The only one who ever really did it right was Chappelle.
yeah.
You know, and Key and Peele's all right, but it's like with those sketch shows, they're hit or miss. You know what I mean?
Yo, Key and Peele like took jokes, dude. I don't understand like how nobody calls them on that. Like they took the Sam Kinison joke, the
Really?
licking the alphabet, like when you're licking a clit or something. They said you got to lick the alphabet, A, B, C. They ripped the late great Sam Kinison's bit.
Really?
That's probably his most famous bit. Yeah, he was that. I think he was like the history teacher in Back to School. Mm-hmm. Sam Kinison. I don't know. Look him up.
Right.
But
I know who Kinison is.
nobody ever called him on it. I've not seen one thing that has ever called him on it. And even Chappelle came out and said he's like, you know, I got to come back and see these motherfuckers do my show.
Right. Yep.
Which he wasn't saying they were ripping him off. Mm-hmm. He was saying that like, you know, he set the precedent. Nobody like set that precedent before he did. Mm-hmm. And then he comes back and everybody's like doing that. Like Amy Schumer's doing that. Key and Peele are doing that.
Mm-hmm. You ever watch the Eric Andre show?
I did. It's actually
It's funny, right?
it's fucking hysterical.
Yeah, it's great, dude. It's really off the wall, but like good. And you can tell he's trying to be off the wall with it, you know?
Oh, that's the thing. He's like so off the wall. The thing is, it's about 15 minutes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
They're 15 or 11 minute. 11 minute. The block is 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. The episode is like 10 or 11, and
Right.
then like 4 minutes of commercials.
Right.
Like nothing is in context. Mm-hmm. Nothing makes any sense. It's all just ludicrous and a lot of shouting and yelling. But it's so fast paced that you don't have time to really process the previous thing, which
Right.
already didn't make sense before the next absurd thing happens.
It's almost
So
like
you
that
can't help
Robot Chicken show. You ever watch
Yeah.
that? It's kind of like that, how everything's so off the wall
Yeah,
that it's
but-
like you can't process it.
Robot Chicken is a lot slower paced, and they'll have actual like sketches where there's a premise behind it,
Right.
and they'll build something up. Eric Andre is like a mock talk show where like one of the running bits is that he'll just like how a talk show will have different segments. Mm-hmm. He never has the same segments. They're
Right.
all completely different, completely random, come in at completely random times. It's like the pace of the absurdity of the show is disarming, and that's what makes you laugh. Mm-hmm. It's funny though. Hannibal Buress is on it. He's pretty funny too.
Yeah, he's good. Hannibal Buress is really funny. Great comedian too. All right, we'll do one or two more, and then we'll.
But Hannibal got that new age kind of like hipster comedy. Like I'm not trying that hard, but it's funny. Still
Right.
kind of fuck you, don't listen to me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Which is something like the old school guys, you know, fought against, you know, to the death of them. Which a lot of them are unfortunately dead now. But it's kind of like well structured, you know, clever joke writing kind of goes out the window with some of these new age guys. I'm not saying all of them. But.
Right. Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, hit me with the next Tindy.
All right.
Tindy profile.
Curiosity is an amazing bug. Smiley face. Believe in serenity. Kindness is the best gift.
Oh, it's got to be one of them yoga chicks. Oh man,
it's a dude, bro. It's
no,
a dude.
Bro. Wait, finish reading that.
That's it, bro. That's it. Look at this picture he's got on him too. It's just like his fucking muscles. You know, see, he's all shredded and shit.
Nah, that's like one of those pictures somebody just ripped off of like Getty Images, some stock photo. It's like a picture. It's literally like a picture of a pool boy. Like a dude ripped just standing outside of the pool, but there's no picture of his face.
It's probably a screenshot from like Pornhub or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like the screen cap, and then they put the title right under it.
Yeah. Be like mom fucks hot pool guy while husband's at work. That's like the title of this pornography.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's do one more. I have a dog. He's 3. From the planet Mars. I like to skate with the bros. Eagles. Super likes for dogs.
Man,
the look of contemplation on your face. It is a guy.
It's gotta be a guy.
It's a guy.
I like to skate with the bros. He said. Wait, you have the picture? Yeah. He's an Eagles fan. Let's see what this fucking disaster looks like.
He's got a Volcom shirt and a
thing. Yeah, of course he has a Volcom shirt on.
From all the guys I talked to that are on these dating apps, they say if you put an animal in there, it increases your likability tenfold.
Yeah.
I get that, man. Chicks like animals. You know what I mean? I like animals. I like chicks.
That thing is like becoming a parody of itself.
You think so?
Yeah, like now it's just off the wall with like every other post you ever see on any social media is like about a dog or an animal.
Right.
To the point where like nobody really gives a fuck about an animal that much. You know what I mean? It, just,
right.
it kind of, that thing has built up its own momentum and has gone out of control. But bitches still love dogs though, so I can't say.
All right, my friend. I know you got to roll. You got to get big in your Converse. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? They're not PF Flyers. Converse don't make you run faster, jump higher, but they do make John lift more. So, good shit. Brother. I'll see you next week.